Let's do a final project review and code walkthrough of our to-do list app. Congratulations! We've built a complete to-do list application from scratch, and we have been able to combine all we have learned about JavaScript features in isolation, and you have now been able to see how different concepts work together to solve a real problem. So let's review the entire flow of the application from the moment the page loads until the task is deleted. So I have made a couple of changes to our code. You will notice that uh, we've been having our scripts on this particular HTML page. But like I said, that when you are working on an application, it should get to a point where you need to employ the separation of concern. Everything cannot just be dumped on a single page, because aside from the fact that it will make your code look messy, breaking a code into chunks can make it much more easier to troubleshoot when there are issues in your code or there are bugs that you want to troubleshoot. You will easily know where to go check where something might be wrong. So I created a file. I named it main.js in the root folder of my application, and then I copied the JavaScript that we had here in the HTML file and pasted it in. You can see it's just pure JavaScript, nothing else, just pure JavaScript. And so I then returned back into my index HTML file and linked it, since it is an external JS. And if you look at it, if I refresh the page will still work very fine. If I try to add something, this will work. If I complete it, it will work, and if I delete, it will work. So nothing has actually changed about our logic and functionality. I just changed how I want those files to be referenced. And so if you now look at what we have done and achieved so far, we have a completed to-do app. And this completed to-do app carries some of the features that we have been looking forward to since we started this course from the beginning. So in our to-do app, we have learned how we can add tasks, how we can prevent empty tasks, how we can remove extra spaces, how we can add tasks by pressing enter key on our keyboard, how we can delete tasks, how we can mark tasks as completed, how we can display the total number of tasks, which is this, and how we can save tasks using local storage. That is, if you save something and then you refresh, what you saved will still persist by saving it in the local storage and reloading saved tasks after refreshing the page. So this has brought together a lot of JavaScript features in isolation and combine them together in one practical application. So this has brought us to the end of our to-do app project. And let's just review some of the things that we have added in this project. So the first thing, I want to move into the main.js file. Now, if you look at it, our code is preceded with the window.unload, which takes the functions inside which we now added all other code. Now, the window.unload runs first. So its purpose is that it selects all the HTML elements that we will use, attach event listeners, and call load task to restore previously saved tasks from local storage. So when this page loads now, this window.unload will run, and it will it will select all the HTML elements. This is our HTML elements together inside this div. Once it selects them, then it will attach event listener and call our load task, which is this. So if there's anything in the local storage, it will get there. If it's empty, then it will return an empty array. So when a user types by minutes and click the add task button or simply enter the enter keypad, the button click function runs, which is what we have at the bottom of our file. So it will remove extra spaces with string. For example, if I put an empty space and try to add, it will not work. Or if I didn't type anything and I click on add task, that also will not work. So it will check if our input is empty. For example, if it is empty like this, and I try to enter, then because of this return, then this function will not run because it's detecting emptiness inside of it. You can see if our task is set to empty, or if I put a space, so this string function will prevent this from adding. And once this is run and it detects empty space, then this return will halt this function from running. So if that input is not empty, then this function is now going to call our create task here. And whatever we try to type inside that input box will then be added to our task list. So the create task list is responsible for building each task. You can see the create element, it creates a new list item, it adds the task text, allow the task to be marked as completed when clicked, create a delete button and append everything to the to-do list. You can see that all of these processes are stored inside our create task function. And every time a task is added or removed, our update counter function will update the total number of tasks shown on the page. You can see we currently have two. If I delete one, then it will update it automatically. And after every change, our save task function rather, will collect all current tasks, convert them into JSON, and store them in local storage. So the next time the page opens, the local task function retrieves the data, recreate every task, and restore the application exactly as the user left it. So this project combines many JavaScript concepts that we have learned through the entire course, including variable, functions, events, conditionals, DOM manipulation, arrays, loops, objects, JSON, local storage, as well as reusable functions. So this is how real-world JavaScript applications are built, by combining many small concepts into one complete solution. So here are a few key takeaways before we end this lesson. Number one, you built a completed to-do list app from scratch. Two, DOM manipulation allows JavaScript to create and update HTML dynamically. You will notice that there are instances where we created the button through JavaScript and not in HTML. For example, this delete button, we created it dynamically. If you look at our code, you can see create element. So we created this button dynamically. That's DOM manipulation. Three, event listener make the application interactive. Click event. You can see. So this makes our application interactive. Number four, functions help organize and reuse code. You can see the way we segmented each of our functions. One for save tasks, one for load tasks, one for button click, one for create tasks. So functions help organize and reuse code. And lastly, local storage keep data even after refreshing the page. With local storage, you can keep data even after refreshing a web page. And this is the end of our to-do list application. I hope you have been able to learn how you can combine different features of JavaScript into one single application, and you have been able to learn how real JavaScript applications are being built in real life.